This is something made actually by
One
Blizzard.
interesting thing about the early days of World of Warcraft was a lot of the voices were actually done by employees. When Bolvar, as he walked past the battlefield, you heard different Alliance soldiers. One of those was me.
Warlord on! Warlord on!
Oh shit! I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, I knew Metzen did a lot of it.
Hi, I'm Taryn Gregory, lead cinematic narrative designer for World of Warcraft. Today we're going to be talking about Wrath of the Lich King, more specifically, in-game cinematics and how they came to be. Warcraft 3 actually ended on a cliffhanger. Arthas claimed Frostmourne, and it claimed his soul. And it is here where the spire of Icecrown Citadel.
Dude, whenever they brought out like Wrath, I thought this is what Icecrown was going to look like. I thought that, like, I never liked Icecrown in Wrath because I expected it to look like this, man.
Towers over the frozen wastes. The story will continue in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Blizzard has always had a legacy of just great cinematics. The video team had a lot of fun putting together these gameplay trailer moments, including the Black Temple, Zulaman, the Sunwell, and even side projects like Nomergon News. I love Nomergon News. It's so good.
They should add more stuff.
The creative
like that
leadership
again.
team of World of Warcraft began to see these as having greater potential. So we looked to in-game cinematics for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, they came to us with a script, and it was evident from the pages that this was a major moment. This was the first time that the Lich King would confront the players in the flesh.
I will show you the true meaning of fear.
Well, it's also like it showed how strong the Lich King was. Because it's like, how strong really is this guy? Like, who is this Lich King dude? And then fucking, you know, Sarfang goes up against him, squares up against him, literally fucking one-shots him, and it was not even a big deal. And people were like, oh. Fuck. Okay, alright.
So we started storyboarding with our storyboard artist, actually drawing pen on paper, and created over 400 line drawings, and it revealed just the sheer scope of the complexity of the project. So now a handful of video artists are given an exciting and almost terrifying opportunity to make a cinematic using the in-game engine. But the engine really wasn't designed to do it. There'd never been any cinematic expressions in World of Warcraft, with the exception of these gameplay trailers that we've been putting together. So we were going to have to get innovative, we were going to have to try new things, and we ended up doing a whole lot with the engine we never thought was possible. The very, very most important part of any filmmaker's toolkit is the camera. And we really hadn't had any camera technology yet. One hookup was created that was actually called Commentator. Esports in WoW were in its early days, but they needed the ability to have a really good camera to follow the action. And so the Commentator hookup in the game engine gave us the opportunity to write a WoW add-on called Camera Guy. Just like your damage meters, just like your UI.
Wow.
And this tool allowed us to do things we'd never done before in the engine. We could pilot a camera through, and it could buffer and smooth the actions, and then we could play that path back again, which allowed us to record a background, a foreground, a midground, layer them together. This is what allows us to up the visual fidelity and really get depth in our scenes, and it produced some pretty good results. Even 14 years later, the fundamentals of Camera Guy and our add-ons are still used by our video department to capture in-game material.
Makes sense.
So the Wrathgate was ultimately the confrontation of three armies. Any fighting that you see on screen was NPCs that we specifically created to fight each other. But if we actually needed them to move from point A to point B, we didn't have the technology to do this yet. So what did we use? People. We actually had up to 40 quality assurance testers that would join us on voice chat, and we'd get the raid together, and they would take their places. 1, 2, 3 action, and they would run from here to there, run from here to there. Sometimes we'd have custom models, and when we would use—
Oh my god, that's fucking amazing! Wow! Alright guys, start hitting each other! Okay, we're rolling!
Use these custom models, they were only really loaded on the computer that was our camera. Some of the QA testers who were working as our actors, when they loaded into the game, they wouldn't see what we were seeing through the camera lens. They'd see little squares of blue and white checker patterns. And they kept asking on voice chat, are you sure it looks good? Does it look correct on your side? And we'd be like, yeah, no, it looks awesome.
I wonder if they were on Vent, man. Like, bro, did they actually record the Wrathgate cinematic on Vent? Fucking just the same as a random machinima video? Wow. Yeah, TeamSpeak. Yeah.
And it did look good.
Rise
It did. It looks amazing.
My favorite shot was when the army of the Horde actually descended from their fortress and rode up the steps of the Wrathgate on the back of their wolves. And if you watch that shot, you'll see that actually it's a whole bunch of players lined up. They all hit run. They all hit /cheer right on their mark.
Tarogar for the Horde!
And that was all played in real time, just like a role-playing session, as any role players would make up their scene and play out a high adventure of the Horde storming the Wrathgate.
This is amazing.
A lot of the charm of the Wrathgate cinematic in my heart is that it's truly in-game. And keeping it in that art style, I think, is valuable to create a more cohesive experience for the player. That's not to say that we didn't do some cosmetic work on the characters. We actually up-resed the feature characters of the Wrathgate quite a lot. Before the character models were redone in Warlords of Draenor, the human male face had eyes with 6 sides on the pupils and didn't even have teeth. And we had to do a lot of work around that area to make it deform in a satisfying way. But we did it in a way that it didn't move away from exactly what you thought the characters looked like.
No, it didn't. Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, I thought it was like, it's Bolvar. Yeah, it's Bolvar. Yeah, of course. Holy shit.
The thing about the Wrathgate is it was probably over 90% of the shots were done using animations that already existed in the game. One of the most iconic lines of the Wrathgate.
Did you think we had forgotten?
Was just Putris up on the hillside.
Just talking.
And he's just doing the /bow animation, but at like 3% speed. You just take the speed slider all the way down, and he's actually doing this off camera.
Oh my God.
Leaning down. Did you think we had forgotten?
And no one would be the wiser that that was really just an emote.
I never knew that. Holy shit.
Just one shot where Bolvar is running into the frame and uppercutting the undead. If you could actually pull that shot apart, you could see that it was a hard swap from one animation to the other, just covered up by that foreground object. We used a lot of tricks to make sure that we could use the in-game animations effectively. My team started getting really innovative with the vehicle tech. This was a new technology that allowed players to kind of attach themselves to another object and drive it around. At the end, the big scene with the dragons as they're laying down the red dragon fire, we needed dragon breath. Instead of doing it traditional composite methods, we ended up making a vehicle out of the fire on the ground. The pillar of fire breath would sit in the seat of the fire, and then the dragon would attach to the pillar of flame. And the whole thing was now a car. We would just drive around the battlefield. And it looked like a dragon strafing when it was just this vehicle being piloted around.
That's really smart. Holy shit.
One of the things that made the Wrathgate so memorable is that it wasn't just the cinematic. And one of the coolest things that supported the Wrathgate was the new technology of phasing. When phasing technology came online, the events of the movie actually transpired in the game. And seeing how dynamic the world had become, both before and after, was
a big fucking deal.
And phasing is the technology that allows this to happen. As the Wrathgate started coming together, it actually inspired the content and quest design team to look to what needed to happen in the aftermath. We needed to follow through on the events of the Wrathgate now, immediately, right in the quest follow-up. And that's how the battle for the Undercity came to be.
Yeah,
as things come online and other designers see what other people are working on, it can reflect and push the story forward.
Soon we march upon our fallen city and reclaim it. Death to the Scourge and death to the living!
This guy just killed everybody.
First went live in that beta program, and we started getting the feedback, and it was some of the most positive feedback we'd received. All the hard work we'd done was paying off. This changed World of Warcraft. It made it feel more immersive, like the story was coming to life. And it had a profound effect moving forward in World of Warcraft. Through all subsequent updates, in-game cinematics became a major staple of all major moments in the game. I will never forget my experience working on the Wrathgate. The wonderful crew who worked on it with me, and
oh my God, let me look
working
at that.
on the Wrathgate. The wonderful
holy shit
crew who
Look at that. Wow. Like the old TVs. A lava lamp. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Yeah, there it is. Box TV, yeah.
Worked on it with me, and how much it meant to be as a player, as a fan, as someone who just loves Warcraft. And even 14 years later, and dozens of in-game cinematics that have come in the aftermath, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. There's nothing I'd rather be working on.
Loktargar!
Thanks for taking this trip down memory
That
lane
shit,
with
like,
me,
I remember
and
whenever that
really
happened,
hope
I was
to
like,
see you
what?
in Northrend. Take care.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was like, dude, this was really fucking good, man. Holy shit. Bro, like, yeah. Like, this was such a good fucking video. I expected this just to be like, yeah, I remember back in the old days, it used to be a good game, but now, you know, hey, I mean, we're gonna bring it back though, right? Like, this is just really good. Yeah, this is a great fucking video, man. Holy shit, I love it. Yeah, watch the actual Wrathgate trailer. I'll watch it very soon whenever I actually do it. I don't need to see it today. We finished the Garrosh Shadowland cinematic. Well, the Garrosh Shadowland cinematic was really, really good. I think that some of them, I actually kind of wish that they would move away from only using in-game models and try to make them look a little bit better. Like, try to actually make the cinematics look a little bit better now. And because, like, you look at the Garrosh models and everything like that, it's just not necessarily amazing. You know, you look at, like, what other animators did, etc., and it could just look way better. The lip sync was so bad. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. I don't think it's that big of a deal. As long as the cinematics, the thing is, like, even though the Wrathgate cinematic was, like, very... It was, like, very... I don't know really what you were... It was very rudimentary. Right? It didn't look amazing or anything like that or whatever. It was just fucking badass. Like, some of the cinematics, though, like, if you look at the Illidan cinematic, like this one here with Sargeras, this cinematic was honestly fucking awesome. This was a legitimate fucking badass cinematic that was in-game. There's just some of them that aren't necessarily that good. Like the Denathrius one was really fucking good. I like that one a lot. I would say like most of them looked pretty decent. I think the Garrosh one, like in terms of like the heart and soul of it, was like fucking amazing. But the graphics themselves were just like not super great. You know, Rejection of the Gift. Yeah, remember that? Holy fuck, man. One guy worked on the Garrosh cinematic. Yeah, I think that makes sense why it's not going to be as in-depth. Let's see, what are some of the other ones that they've even done? I'm trying to remember, like, let's see. Maybe I should go back and watch, like, all the cinematics. One of these days I will. I like the Jaina and her mom as well, very wholesome. Yeah, I think the Jaina questline, in my opinion, I would say that the Jaina questline and the Kultiris questline in BFA, objectively speaking, was S tier. Like, it was actually like an S-tier questline. The cinematics were great. The flow of it was great. It was really, really, really good. Like, BFA did a lot of system... Like, BFA was a good expansion that got strangled to death by bad systems. Whether it was the Azerite, the artifact Azerite power, the essences, or corruptions, it just got strangled to death, or islands strangled to death by bad systems. And I hope that's what Dragonflight really tries to avoid. CG cinematics would be super expensive. Otherwise, why not all do them all in CG? My understanding is the actual, like, fully rendered CGI cinematics are, like, ridiculously hard to make. Like, insanely fucking hard. Like, every single frame is rendered. They're, like, terabytes of size. Like, yeah. $1 million a minute. Yeah, so they made 4 for BFA. Yeah, BFA had a lot of those cinematics. Hopefully they add more of them. Why do it? Nobody cares about it then? I think that people do care about it. Like, you can always go back. Like, the every WoW cinematic, I feel like, is super iconic. Even, like, the Shadowland cinematics. Like, I would say that the Mists of Pandaria one, like, it's iconic for, like, kind of how weird it was. But, like, if you go back and you look at the Warlords of Draenor cinematic, Was it a waste of money to make it that good? No. No, it was not. However much money they spent on it, it was worth it. Same with Wrath of the Lich King. No, I care most about Blizzard cinematics. Yeah, exactly. Which one was your favorite? If you want me to be totally honest, I think the WoD one is my favorite. Like, the Wrath one it's like nostalgically my favorite, but I think objectively, and like for what it meant in the story and everything, I think the WoD one was 100% the coolest one, man. I remember, like, as soon as my mom and I watched it, whenever it came out, we immediately went back and watched it again. Let's see here. My account, Muffs, got banned till 29th. I gotta tell you guys, every fucking day, I have people that come on and they try to tell me that, you know, like they got suspended or in trouble or something like that for being a bad bully. Please, guys, stop breaking the rules. Please stop it. Yo, what up, S-Man? Like, it's nuts. How's this hard to do? Stop breaking the fucking rules. What are y'all doing? Spoke about this in the past, yeah. Stop making a name. I called everybody in my raid a dick-sucking idiot, and I got suspended. Man, this new social contract SJW shit really grinds my gears. Here, let me explain something to you guys. As somebody who has been reported, like, I have been suspended from World of Warcraft probably 10 times. I've been suspended a whole lot. You could have, like, I've been suspended for some bad stuff, and I've been suspended for some stuff that's not so bad. Back in 2017 or 16, I got suspended for making a group called Throne of Thunder Big Dick. Just putting Big Dick in the name got me suspended. And my viewers reported me, which, like, I mean, I would have done the same thing. I get it, guys. Like, you report the streamer because it's like, fuck them, right? So, like, I get you guys did that. And so, yeah. This shit's always been against the rules. Always. There's just some people out there that just cannot fucking get it through their head that you can't just break the rules. And the thing is that with the social contract, let me reassure you, as somebody who is very, very closely read the Blizzard Terms of Service, so I can know what I can do and what I can't do, nothing that was in the social contract was new. Not a single thing was new. Nothing is being differently enforced. The only reason why more people are getting suspended now is because the social contract put the idea of a punishment for having certain things that break the rules in people's minds. It gave them the idea, hey, wait a minute, isn't there the social contract now? Can I report somebody for this? And then they do it. You guys see how this happens? Yeah, people know reporting is effective now. Exactly. But I'm a sovereign citizen in WoW. Yeah, I'm not raiding, I'm traveling. I know, I'm sure. And social contract, more like social engineering experiment. There's nothing about social engineering. It's just they don't want to have to deal with like these like weird fucking kids that can't control their emotions and they get mad and they have verbal diarrhea all over the fucking keyboard whenever somebody says something that makes them upset. That's the reality. Like, nobody wants to deal with this. Nobody wants to deal with an emotionally unstable 31-year-old man-child that starts calling everybody fucking slurs and names because his Alterac Valley is losing. No, everybody else doesn't want to deal with this shit. Just keep it to yourself, pussy. Oh, wait, no, now I'm going to get suspended. You see what I'm saying? It's just stop it. Stop being a bitch. Words, so bad I can't ban or block them. But if words are so easy to like avoid, why is this person using them? Why is it now your responsibility that you have to wall yourself off from this toxic person? Why is it now one person's emotional, like fucking their inability to control their emotions and their impulses now requires 39 other people to take action around them? You see what I'm saying? Why does everybody else have to conform around your emotional outburst? Get the fuck out of here. Safe space. Yeah, we have to provide a safe space for you to have your emotional outburst because the video game isn't turning out the way that you want. Why don't you toughen the fuck up and stop crying? I don't want to deal with emotionally unstable man-children that are getting mad and popping off in every BG I play. It's just annoying, it's tiresome, and it's easier for me to just avoid having that be an issue. I don't want to deal with crying babies every time that can't control themselves. It's tiresome. Yeah, these people should be playing MMORPG. Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing you, what's this, they're insulting district people in raids when I don't do mechanics as you want them to? Absolutely, but I don't do it in game because it's against the rules. You see what I'm saying? So, like, basically, like, if I knew I would get suspended for ninja looting, I wouldn't ninja loot. Now, if I knew that I would get in trouble for that, I would stop doing it. But I'm not going to get in trouble, so why would I stop doing it? You see what I'm saying? It's common sense. Isn't that why right-click, ignore, and mute functions exist? Like, don't you find it selfish, though, that somebody thinks that their emotional outburst, like, the solution for their emotional outburst is for 39 other people to mute them, rather than just the game suspends that one person? Like, everybody else has to protect and provide a safe space around you so you can vent yourself? It's absolutely unfair. It's ridiculous. Like, go anywhere else. Go to Chipotle and do this. You're gonna be out. Go to Barnes & Noble and do this. You're gonna be out. Go to Home Depot and do this. You're gonna be out. You're gonna be out anywhere else. It's the entitlement. Yeah, it's the entitlement. They think that they have the right to have this fucking outburst and everybody else is entitled to listening to it. Get the fuck out of here. Which games to work like that? It's impossible to monitor 24/7. It is, but it's not impossible for people to report it if it gets really fucking annoying. I think that's the whole point that I'm making here. And yeah, that's it. They think that their frustration with something is so important that it should override everybody else just trying to enjoy the game. It's nuts, man. Wants to deal with the consequences of their words or actions, gets mad whenever they're forced to. Yeah, because you can't really mute someone personally from talking in real life situations. Well, they can mute you. They kick you out of the store. Like, they absolutely can mute you. Yeah, they kick you out of the fucking store. It's just, yeah, a bunch of egotistic kids. I just, all I hope is that, like, all of these, like, kids that can't control themselves, I just really hope that more people start to realize that it's actually them, the ones that are, like, getting reported and getting in trouble all the time. They are the ones that need the safe spaces. They are the ones that can't just act normal and be normal. They are the ones that need everybody else to conform around their worldview and their emotions. It's not just kids. Yeah, exactly. Kids are in their 30s. People just scared to punish their kids, so they grew up unruly. I think these are adults.